Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to do a video talking about the current situation in Afghanistan, and I'm going to kind of take two different angles on it. There's a million different ways that you could assess the situation, tactically, strategically, operationally, but I kind of want to look at it through somewhat of a more human lens. Typically, I don't talk about things like Afghanistan on this channel. However, I personally happen to know a lot of the guys that are on the ground over there right now within the 82nd. And during the early stages of the deployment, they were sending me personally, like texting me things that I basically just wasn't seeing anywhere in the media, the mainstream media, if you will. And so I decided to post a lot of it on my social media, and it's kind of become a thing. Some people hate it, some people love it, is what it is. And again, it's not what I want my brand to be. I want my brand to be about guns and gear, individual liberty, freedom, etc. But because I've been posting so much about things going on in Afghanistan, and then of course with what happened today, a lot of people said, make a video. I'm getting literally hundreds of messages about it, so I'm making it. But again, I'm not going to go through like a tactical or strategic or operational level failure analysis. There's plenty of that out there. I guess I could do that if you guys want, but I kind of want to look at it from two different ways as somebody who spent a long time in the military. Just basically today, as of when I'm recording this video, it is 7:53 Eastern Standard Time on the 26th. So as of this morning, America time, there was a complex attack with suicide bombers at the airport. And as of right now, the numbers could go up, but as of right now, 13 service members, I believe, again, everything's coming in as of when I'm recording this video, 12 Marines and a Navy corpsman have been killed, but many more are injured. And already that puts that in the top 5 in terms of casualty producing events in the history of the Afghanistan war. So this is a significant event. So right now, again, like I was saying, there's kind of two angles I want to look at this from for people who have never been in the military to kind of explain what's happening. So right now, there's all the people their family members are over there in the airport, if they're Marines in particular or corpsmen. They're sitting here in America hoping that no one knocks on their door and tells them that their loved one is dead. That's a terrible thing to do. I've done it personally once, and it was horrible. It was one of the hardest things I ever did in the military. And I'm sure obviously it's much, much harder for those family members who received the news. And again, there are probably literally thousands of families right now in America that are on pins and needles hoping they don't get a knock. And that's kind of the human side, I guess you could say, like I was trying to say in the intro, of this kind of tragedy. There's going to be kids without dads, wives without husbands, parents without kids. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And setting that aside, obviously we hope that no more service members die. And definitely, I think I'm not alone in that the millions of Americans are praying for them and their families to make sure to hope that that doesn't happen again. But unfortunately, it's the job that they all signed up for, knowing it. And right now, at least this is my opinion anyway, the mission that they're executing in terms of the attempt to rescue Americans who are trapped by terrorists is one of the most honorable missions that American military has taken on over the global war on terrorism. There's been a myriad of missions in Afghanistan, village stabilization ops, all those sorts of things. There's nothing wrong with those missions. That can all be debated, but to rescue Americans is what everybody who signs up on that dotted line signs up for. So unfortunately they died, but they died a hero's death, no doubt about it. And then I guess kind of moving on from that, not that it's easy to move on from because it's very serious. The other aspect that I wanted to kind of just take this on, again, like I said, I know a lot of the people there personally. And if you look at the images of the guys on the ground, at least in the first few days, right, in the first, 72 hours of this mission, you didn't see guys that were, 30 to 40 years old with beards and all this cool guy gear. These were line infantrymen, I think it's 0311s in the Marine Corps, 11 Bravos in the Army. Most of these guys are 18 to 20-year-olds. They were taking on the hardest mission set in the world at the time, with the world's eyes looking at them. And for particularly the soldiers in that case, they were mostly at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the day before hanging out at Walmart. And the next day, they were on the front lines of the hottest conflict in the world, literally looking at the Taliban eye to eye at checkpoints. And they were the ones ensuring that thousands of Americans had even had the hope of escaping from this regime that has taken over in Afghanistan, which is a horrific, horrific group of people. They are the worst type of people on the planet. The atrocities they've already committed are abhorrent and along the lines of some of the worst in human history. And Americans are trapped behind their control and facing those types of horrible things happening to them. These men and women, young men and women, again, most of them are 18 to 20-year-olds. They're doing the craziest mission, one of the crazier missions, rather, that has happened in the global war on terrorism. Typically, missions of this high priority set in the global war on terrorism have been done by special operations units. But this one's not. Again, like I said, these are line infantrymen. They're wearing PVS 14s. They don't have cool guy Gucci gear. These are the guys that, a year ago were signing up at the recruiter's office. So to have the responsibility, this huge responsibility on their shoulders is it's just tremendous. And for folks out there who are in the military or thinking about joining the military, just a kind of a reminder that you don't know when it's going to be your day, right? You don't know when your number is going to get called. So take your training seriously, because literally, like I said, these guys in the 82nd, I know it's different with the Marines and the way they deploy. I understand that. But these guys in the 82nd and even the 10th Mountain, 2 days before this, were playing with their kids and, drawing on walls around the base, right? So now they're in the fight of their lives and with the world's eyes on them. So it's a huge responsibility. So take your training seriously. And I'm sure these men and women have. And to date, they've performed tremendously. You could not have asked for a better performance from our soldiers and Marines on the ground. As for political leadership, obviously that's not the case. But our men and women on the ground have made every American proud. I'm sure right now they're itching to go out there and get the Americans that are held behind enemy lines, but they're not being allowed to do so. But I guarantee you every single one of them would risk their lives to save any Americans that are trapped behind enemy lines. So we owe them all a great debt for what they're doing and what they want to do, and hopefully we'll be able to do. But anyway, those are kind of the two things I wanted to focus on in the video, because again, these are just kids out there, both the ones that are still fighting and the ones that we've lost. And it's just a tragic situation all around. And unfortunately, again, as I said earlier, I'm recording this on the 26th. Unfortunately, more tragedy is very likely to happen, despite what we all hope and pray won't happen. It very likely will. And it's just sad. It's sad all the way around. So that's it, guys. Those are my thoughts. Obviously, I have many more thoughts on that, but those are just kind of two issues that I wanted to highlight. Our kids are doing a really good job. They're doing really, really well in some very difficult situations. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.